of last season. Jets earning their first home win of the year and honoring the legacy of Nick Mangold with the victory, defeating the Cleveland Browns 27-20.
Brees.
Fewest passing yards in a win, 42. Are you kidding me?
And that Brees Hall reception was what, 40? That was like 40.
It was 42.
That was 42, right?
Wow,
so before that Brees Hall reception,
it was dark.
I mean, look, hey, you find a way to win, right? I mean, that's at the end of the day, you find a way to win. The Browns did not find a way to win. Their 13th straight road loss. That's just bad. And now they're going to be looking perhaps at a quarterback change. We'll see. All right, so look, this is one of the most talked about, which is unnecessary to talk about, but we'll talk about it because, like, does it really matter? Do we give Shedeur Sanders an opportunity here? Because this is always happening every week when we talk about Dillon Gabriel. But at this point, it's like, why not give Sanders a shot?
I don't think there's any doubt that at some point this season, Shedeur Sanders is going to get his opportunity. Been battling a back injury. He was QB2 going into today. Let's contextualize this loss by the Cleveland Browns for a moment. The New York Jets just traded away their two best pieces on their team, right? Certainly on the defensive side, right? If you want to argue Garrett Wilson's in the top two, that's fine. The Browns are coming off of a bye. Justin Fields does not complete the forward pass that often. The Browns have a fantastic defense. Special teams should play well, should win this game. Now Dillon Gabriel has started 5 games. He has 1 win. He got 5 yards per attempt today. In a lost season, which clearly this is a lost season again for the Cleveland Browns, you were going to see Shedeur, and I thought for a little bit that Dillon Gabriel would be able to hold it off. That, okay, he's going to play well. They won't lose because of Dillon Gabriel. It's hard to say that they didn't lose today because of Dillon Gabriel and, of course, bad special teams play by the Browns. So I don't know if it's this upcoming week. I don't know if it's the next week. But sooner rather than later, I think we will finally see the debut of Shedeur Sanders.
And that makes sense. Number one, today, they're a bad team. So one thing we know about bad teams, they will find a way to lose. The Jets only scored 13 offensive points and won this game in totality with 27 points because of 2 special teams touchdowns. You cannot allow that to happen. But to your point about Dillon Gabriel, he was sacked 6 times. It feels like he hasn't really found his niche within this offense. So if I am the Cleveland Browns, no question, I give Shedeur a shot, and here's why. When you look at the resources, draft capital they have for the upcoming draft, I need to see both guys and see if one of these guys could be a piece that we can build around for future purposes at the quarterback position. Because next year's draft is going to be a telling sign about what you should do based on what you see now. So let's put Shedeur out there in some meaningful opportunities, no preseason shenanigans, meaningful teams going against high-level defense to see, you know what, he has it. When you look at some young quarterbacks that we've seen become starters, remember when Russell Wilson became a starter? He took over outside the preseason, but in the regular season, he showed confidence. Guess what they did after that? We don't need to address that position anymore. So that's why I think it would make sense to give Shedeur an opportunity, because I can tell you this much, you're not winning more games with Dillon Gabriel. And I'm not saying it's his fault, but let's shake up a little bit and see can a new quarterback improve the morale.
Yeah, throw him right in the fire. They play Baltimore next week, so just throw him right in the fire, Kevin Stefanski. Let's go. We want to see what we got, right? Like, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Yes.
What's the website? Tankathon?
Tankathon. Do you want me to look it up right now? I'm going to look it up right now.
They have the 4th overall selection right now.
And a bunch of draft picks, right?
See, I don't even need Tankathon. I got Jonathan Jones right here.
Yes.
See, I don't even need to go log on. I'll log on to howtomakaetackle.com. Browns need to log on to howtomakaetackle.com. Longest road losing streak, 2nd in franchise history, 13 in a row. But most importantly, their first win against the Bills since 2022. And one of their biggest upsets against Buffalo, their biggest upset since 1992. They were 9.5-point underdogs in this one, and the Dolphins were barking here in Week 10. Hoo, hoo, hoo. I'll tell you what, Bills fans are barking right now because they're upset, B-Mac. I mean, you can't have a game where you beat the Chiefs and then you come back here and go to Miami and have a stinker like this. This is unacceptable for Buffalo Bills football.
It is, but for the NFL, this is right on course. This is why the NFL is such a unique game to watch, because when you think you know, you do not know. They were a clear-cut favorite coming into this ball game, to Hakeem's point, because of what they did last week, led by one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. Going against a team that just fired their GM a few weeks ago. We're hearing the head coach potentially could be fired. We don't know what's going to happen with their star quarterback. But the Dolphins came in, did not listen to any of the elevator music that was going outside the building, and played high-level football and came up with one of the more surprising wins this week so far in the National Football League. You have to love it because the entertainment and the parity is always there. But for Buffalo, I'm a bit concerned with Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because of what we saw last week and then doing what happened today. When you talk about having a team with Josh Allen, the championship aspirations, you win the game you're supposed to win. This was a winnable game. They allowed one to slip through their fingers, and now they created more separation between themselves and the New England Patriots, who we just talked about. And oh, by the way, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, even though you had a bye, you actually had a win. Because you need chaos to happen, because they're currently sitting, outside of the top 7 in terms of the NFL playoff picture.
Jonathan, what broke down for Josh Allen in this offense? You saw the multiple turnovers, the red zone interception.
Well, that's it. That's it, because even though the Miami Dolphins were up 16-0, you still never felt like, oh, the Miami Dolphins are going to somehow win this game in the third quarter. And then the Buffalo Bills get down there into the red zone, and we're saying to ourselves as we're watching, like, okay, look, you can kick right here. It's okay. You don't have to score the touchdown. You can still just get the 3. Plenty of time left, about 20 or so minutes left in the game. That's 3 or so possessions for the Buffalo Bills. And then there is the interception. Then you get the tush push, and you get that continuation, right? The refs let it keep going. They didn't stop his forward progress.
I can't stand it.
They didn't stop his forward progress like they did for the Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants a couple weeks ago, right? And then it gets stripped there. So when you lose the ball at high leverage situations like that, when you have already dug yourself a hole, when you don't have the passing offense that you need, and that is why the Buffalo Bills they were trying to go out there and get a wide receiver before the trade deadline. We heard from GM Brandon Beane, who said, you had told me at the start of the deadline that we would come away with no one. That would have been a big surprise to me. They tried, they couldn't do it, and now they know that for the second half of this season, this is the group they're going to have to go out there with, and their reigning MVP, he can't be turning the football over.
Well, we also saw Keon Coleman score a touchdown for just his 3rd of the season. I mean, that's who we've been asking for to step up. He gets a touchdown, makes a nice play at the goal line, and it's all for naught here because, Melvin, when you talk about what's ahead for Buffalo, they play Tampa Bay next week, then they're at Houston, then they're at Pittsburgh. We knew that this schedule was going to be somewhat of a gauntlet for Buffalo, but this is make or break time here for Josh Allen and the Bills.
Yeah, you have to win the games that you're supposed to win. If you know football, you know the division games are always going to be tough, regardless of the records. It just is what it is. They're going to play them tough. And like you mentioned earlier, the GM got fired, so everybody is auditioning. You got new faces coming in. The coach is going to give you his best. The players are going to give you their best, because with new hires come new faces. And people want to keep their jobs, so they're going to put their best foot forward, and I think that's what Miami did. And